that I try to get at explaining this is a set of theories known as the dynamics of complex systems or complex systems theory. There are an underlying set of theories called general systems theory, which sort of this stuff lays on top of, and I don't in this class go into general systems theory. You might in a science class sometimes. Complex systems theory tries to explain how complex systems work by looking at their elements. So there is here a list of their elements. You can look at them all. There's always a chance those might show up on an exam. But also the difference between the two ways of looking at complex systems, from an emergence perspective and from a complexity perspective, and they're a little bit different. Emergence studies how aspects of these features come to interact with each other as they do in particular contexts and under particular conditions. So how do dynamic systems, dynamically complex systems, emerge? And then complexity, which is a feature of dynamically complex systems, describes mathematically the density of the relationships. How complex is stuff? How are they related in that way? There are a whole bunch of folks who do dynamics of complex systems studies. If you go to the bottom to the want to learn more and click on either of these two links, you'll be taken to a number of places and people who look at how dynamic systems work, okay? And sort of how they get studied. There are some principles for doing these studies. I list them here. If you're working with a dynamic system, one of the things that you don't do in order to study is to take it apart. You have to deal with it as a dynamic system. You don't assume that it works the way it's supposed to. You assume that it's chaotic. And you don't assume that there are only a few pieces. If a butterfly's wings flapping someplace can cause some weather, it's probably more complicated than isolating out one variable that's responsible for all of the variation. Now let me show you a couple of things about complex systems to give you a sense of it. There are some articles there for your applications that will give you a beginning on it too as well. But I've got a couple pieces I want to use here to